Good day, colleagues. It's truly an honor and a privilege for me today to be sitting here with my mentor of some 20 years, Dr. Vincent Maphai. I first had the privilege of meeting Vincent when we were thinking about starting the Discovery Foundation, which Vincent has chaired since its inception 18 years ago. The Discovery Foundation was started as part of Discovery Holdings' BEE transaction, and it really represents one of our critical ambitions of Discovery to be a powerful force for social good in the countries in which we operate. And given that we're proudly South African and South Africa is our home base, we're particularly committed to doing that in this country. So South Africa really has had a proud history of clinical excellence, of research, and we really punch above our weight in that regard. And we felt that a way that we could contribute to that in South Africa was by supporting ongoing clinical training, clinical excellence. And so we thought hard about how we could do that. And we felt we could do that in a BEE environment. In other words, support clinical excellence, clinical training with at least 75% of the funding going towards black recipients. And so that's what we've done. We offer a number of awards. They're awards that support postgraduate clinical research, clinical training, that support subspecialist posts in identified areas of need, and a particular focus on rural and resource poor areas. So that's the background to the foundation. As I say, as the chair of the foundation, we've been really privileged to have had Vincent's leadership and guidance through all these years. So Vincent, thank you very much for taking the time to join us here. And perhaps let's just start off by asking, what has the foundation meant to you?
First of all, Maurice, thanks very much for your kind and very generous words. After listening to what you said about me, I'm tempted to run for political office and appoint you my manager. So thanks very much. It's almost... I want to say foundation means everything to me. And I have no modesty problems about that statement because it bears witness to the foresight of Adrian Gore and Barry Swartberg. They conceived of the foundation, not me. And I think it was tremendous foresight that they chose the right issues, they supported the right issues. And for me, there are two things by which you judge any country apart from security. It's education and health. And we are, as Discovery, in health, and as the foundation in health and education. So we are really at the core of what society and its future are about.
So Vincent, maybe tell us a little bit more about how the foundation has impacted and positively contributed to healthcare in South Africa.
Let us take a step or two back on its core mandate, and you have referred to it. The focus and the emphasis is on focus, because focus doesn't mean everything else is excluded. The focus was on historically BEE candidates, women and blacks. The most interesting thing is that particularly with black specialists, we battled to meet our targets in the beginning. But we did not give up. We were relentless that we have started a job, we have to do it. We visited campuses. I don't know how many campuses I visited. Sometimes coming back more discouraged than I was when I went in. almost thinking we are involved in a futile exercise. But look at today, 2024. We can't even satisfy the need for our work. So that for me has been a major impact, that we have changed the demography of the professional, especially the top profession. But number two, that's the easiest part. You can change demography by putting everybody you find in the streets. We insisted on the quality of our candidates. That's very, very important, because if you do not do that, you are not being helpful, you are being patronizing. We insisted that our candidates meet the exacting standards that were put there. We got the best possible panel of experts in the area. We respected the panel. And much later, the evidence speaks for itself. It's just amazing how the majority of our candidates are now in very powerful position, not for their own egos, but for the ability to influence the direction of healthcare. And most importantly, the passion with which they approach their work. I've been to areas where I never thought anybody's doing health work, but we underestimate the commitment of our people. In the middle of nowhere, you find them just grinding. And I think it would be remiss of us to focus on what is failing, what is not working, and ignore the integrity and dedication and passion of the healthcare in general, but also, in this case, pertinently, our own candidates.
So thanks, Vincent. You spoke very powerfully of the quality of the candidates, and as you've alluded to, after 18 years, our senior alumni, most of them are in senior leadership positions in academia. I think 3 of the deans of medical schools are our alumni, the new CEO of the Medical Research Council, heads of many societies. And so, as you say, it's really been a privilege for us to have been able to support these people. This evening, you're going to be handing awards out to the new young crop, the 2024 Foundation awardees. What's your message to them?
My message is keep the spirit, keep the commitment. Unlike the original members, the alumni, they have 18 years to call on as mentors, as people who really can inspire them. And what we are saying is, a healthy life is not a privilege, it's a right. And that every medical person, you cannot separate your work, and you cannot do your work without a strong sense of ethics, of what is right and what is wrong. Because at the end of the day, if you are dealing with the lives of people, I cannot think of something much more ethical than that. So that would be the message to them, saying, join the club, see what you see, raise the standards. We want to raise the standards with each generation that comes.
Thanks, Vincent. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to many, many years of your wise leadership in making sure that the foundation goes from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Maurice. And don't just thank me. I think for me, one of the privileges is working with the trustees that we have in the foundation. Very strong, very committed. We debate, we argue, but we always emerge with one answer. We have no cliques. We focus on the mandate that Discovery gave to us, and we are very determined that we don't want to disappoint our sponsors, and we don't want to disappoint the people for whom the foundation has been set up, for whose benefit. Thanks.